Okay, time for the King of Cups. And as always, the court cards can represent a person or someone with the characteristics of the person represented in the card, or it can represent a sort of stage of life or an event. So the King of Cups in this card, he's holding his cups and there's a fish jumping above him. And a lot of times the seas are turbulent, and in this card they are, and there's also a ship in the background. So that is the sort of traditional archetypes that we see. Let's see, so the King of Cups, let's move into how he feels. The King of Cups is very royal, he's very mighty, he's very in command of things, and he's in command of his emotions. He is someone who is wise. He has had a lot of experience in life. He is in a very authoritative position. This can represent someone in your life who is a boss or who is an upper level manager. He can represent someone who is in a position of authority in general. This person is someone who is, while he is in tune with his emotions, he's very balanced. He doesn't let his emotions ruin his life or run his life, but at the same time he doesn't shut them down. So he feels them, he knows what they are, but he is very prudent in his actions. He's very prudent in the way he expresses himself. It just feels to me as if he has a lot of experience and knowledge, and so he knows when to be emotional and when not to be emotional. And he's just very command. He's very sure of himself. He's very, very solid. So this would be someone I'd like to be married to, quite frankly, right? As archetypes go. But anyway, let's not get into that. So this is someone who you would like to go to advice for, right? I mean, if you're going to ask anyone for advice, it's this guy. He would be level-headed, he would be compassionate, he would be caring, but he'd also be very knowledgeable and be able to give you a real depth to your answer, because he just has a lot of experience to draw on, and he would be able to help you navigate your own emotions so that you could make a wise and informed choice. The King of Cups also feels to me to be someone extremely solid, just like the Queen of Cups. He is the emotional rock of the family. If other people are overly emotional and sort of like overflowing in their expression to an nth degree, he is the person who is going to be calm, he's going to be collected, he is good in the face of turmoil. Now, as for what stage of life the king can be, the king can represent being in a position or being in a stage of life that is more advanced. So you are at the top of your command in your job, or you are in the later stages of life, you're nearing retirement, right? You've gone through the page, you've gone through the knight, you've gone through all these things, and now you're more at a more mature sort of stage. If we move into the Doreen, Virtue, and Radleigh Valentine's cards, we're going to have the King of Raphael is going to represent the King of Cups. We have the King of Water, trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. And then we also have the King of Summer. He's honorable, devoted, mature, and warm-hearted. So, the King of Cups reversed. The King of Cups reversed is someone who is not sure of himself. He doesn't believe in his power. He doesn't believe in what he has to offer others. He feels as if, he might be emotionally rejected if he expresses himself all the way. He is someone who feels inadequate on some level. He doesn't really trust his actions. He may have not had a lot of emotional experience, or he's had a lot of emotional experience, but it's ended up being trauma. And because it's trauma, it's not flowing correctly. So therefore, he wouldn't really be the type of person you want to go to for advice, because he would give advice that is skewed towards the emotional difficulty that he has had, and it wouldn't really be balanced. It wouldn't be neutral. Whereas when the card is upright, this person is kind, generous, compassionate, neutral, a source of a wealth of inspiration and knowledge and help with an emotional depth that can't be found anywhere else. Reversed, this person is shallow. He isn't able to go beneath the surface. He's not able to give good advice. He's not able to actually help the person that is asking because he hasn't really been there or done it. He doesn't have the emotional experience to know. The other sort of energy that this card can bring forth is someone who is emotionally toxic. So when they don't get their way, they get pissy and angry and they drain other people, right? They kind of throw a tantrum like a 4-year-old in the store because they're not getting their way. They could be just emotionally really difficult to deal with. I don't know if you've ever worked with someone or been around someone who they're just emotionally difficult. It's like they create problems wherever they go, and emotionally you're exhausted afterward. It's that sort of energy when the card is reversed.